Jewish marketing, targeting Jewish consumers, has been around just about 90 years. Founded by a guy named Joseph Jacobs, who founded my agency. In 1919, he went out and found people that wanted to talk to Jewish consumers. But in 1919, every Jewish consumer in America pretty much spoke Yiddish. So he went out and started translating these ads into Yiddish and turned something into an industry in its own right. And today it's really not much different. You still got to speak their language. Their language clearly isn't Yiddish in the most part today. It's not Hebrew. Here in the United States, everyone speaks English, but the language isn't always the text, the syntax. Speaking English versus Yiddish versus Hebrew versus Spanish. It's talking in their vernacular. It's understanding what their needs are and what their families are about and how to talk to them. And if you're a food product and you're kosher, then that helps talking to Jews. But if you're a telephone company, or you're an airline, or you're a toy company, you have to come out and find ways and the proper mediums to speak to those consumers in, and that's really what helps make somebody a household name. And that really does that by getting into their media. Today that's internet, of course, websites. Jewish print is still a huge piece of what goes on. Jewish newspapers are read widely every week by Jewish households of every stripe and color. And talking and making yourselves relevant into those households and finding what it is that your brand or your service or your product does that is relevant to those families and makes them understand that you as a brand and as a marketer are making that connection. Hanukkah's coming up, of course, and you'll find Christmas everywhere. And somebody that spends, no matter their industry, that those 2 minutes, those few dollars, and says, we're going to talk to someone in a way that's different than Christmas, and we're going to say something that's Hanukkah, that really turns around and makes a huge difference, and that takes on such a different feeling with the consumer. You'll find, you can do a study and research and find consumers that say, oh, that's a Jewish brand. What makes it a Jewish brand? Well, when I was a kid, that was always what I saw because, and then it hits them. These people haven't marketed to them in 5 or 10 or 20 years, but they did something that once or twice or 3 times somewhere along their life hit them in a way, oh wait, they did a Hanukkah something once. And 5 years later, consumers are still going back to that. And that is one of the ways you're talking someone's language. WEVD used to be that radio station here in New York. You know, we speak your language, because they had Yiddish language and Russian and Hungarian, all different. And that's really what still today makes a difference. Speaking someone's language might not mean English or Hebrew or Spanish, but it means understanding what their needs are and really being able to market that product on that level.